What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about social anxiety, mainly in the context of a gym environment, but these tips will be applicable for other situations. First disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, a physio, a lawyer. If you get that reference, you're very, very sound. There's the disclaimers done. Like the video, subscribe for more content. Give me some support in the comments and let's roll the intro. Let's get into it. So, as I said to start, I'm not qualified doctor or anything like that. These are just some general tips to potentially help with social anxiety and dealing with this in a gym scenario. So I know for a lot of people it can be quite an uncomfortable experience when you're starting out in the gym, feeling like other people are sort of judging you for starting out. Maybe you're overthinking your form and things like that. So going to the gym is not necessarily an easy experience for everyone, and I really appreciate that. So these are just some tips that I've come up with in order to help alleviate this issue and get you to the gym, and then also allow you to sort of relax more in that environment. So these are just my thoughts on that. If things are very severe in terms of your social anxiety and it's impacting your day-to-day so much that it's preventing you working or it's impacting your life that much, then I would always recommend getting professional help. So tip number one is remember that everyone is there for a particular reason. So, everyone that goes to the gym is primarily there to focus on themselves and becoming a better version of themselves. So I really doubt that anyone is actually judging you when you're going to the gym, and you'll be surprised. I think most people actually think that, oh, here is someone that's new to the gym. It's great that they're taking the initiative to improve themselves, and it's usually seen as a positive thing. If I ever saw someone in the gym starting out, I'm impressed that people are taking action to try and better their physical and mental well-being. So it's always actually seen as a positive thing for the 99% of people. So and also because everyone's got their headphones in and they're so dialed into their own session, it's highly unlikely that people are actually paying you much attention. You may perceive that the eyes are on you, or like people are looking at you, but a lot of the time people have just got their headphones in and they're so focused on their own exercises and controlling the weights they're lifting and things like that, and their playlist, that they're not actually fully aware of what's going on around them. So always bear that in mind. So that would be my first tip. Tip number two, focus on what's actually real, what's actually happening in the gym scenario, rather than your perceived worries. So if no one's making any negative comments or no one's sort of actually looking at you in an odd way or anything like that, then that's the reality of the situation. That's not what you're perceived, actually aligned with your perceived worries. Your concerns are going to be people are watching me, judging me, etc. If no one's saying anything, then that is actually the reality of the situation. So try and focus on what's actually happening rather than your perceived worries. Tip number three, so make sure that you're breaking down the problem into smaller, more manageable tasks. This is going to make it seem less onerous and less stressful. So for example, you can make things easier for yourself by, let's say you have to motivate yourself to go to the gym. Pack your gym kit, your bag the night before, maybe lay your clothes out next to your alarm clock or your phone, so that you associate the getting changed in the morning with then going to the gym, and it just becomes part of your daily routine. So if you can start to slowly implement it as part of a sort of morning routine or just a habit, then over time it will seem tough at the start, but over time this is then going to be more ingrained in you, and it's just going to be something that you add to your routine as a habit. So it's going to be easier to manage, and break down the stresses that you're concerning yourself with into smaller manageable tasks. First step, laying gym kit out, preparing to go to the gym, then traveling to the gym, walking, biking, driving, however you're getting there. Next step, getting changed or preparing yourself for the session, warming up, things like that, and just break it down into these smaller steps, and each of these is going to feel less daunting and significant than this overwhelming fear of a really busy gym. In addition to this, I'd also say that if you are concerned with sort of gyms being really busy, or you don't really want to come into contact with too many other people and you want to focus on your session, then as much as you can, try and go when the gym is less busy. So generally peak hours are going to be between 5 and 7 p.m. It usually is pretty busy. About most gyms around the country be pretty busy, like 6 till 7:30 a.m, something like that. The sort of pre-work rush, if you can get in there at like 8 till 9 around your work schedule or your university schedule, whatever, that can be a good time to go as things start to ease off. And then it's usually a bit quieter from then onwards until late morning. Probably picks up between like 11 and 1 for the lunchtime sessions, but both morning and lunchtime slots are usually less busy than 5 to 7 p.m, which is the peak. So see if going at a time in the day when it would be quieter suits you better as well. That may help alleviate a bit of the stress as well. Tip number 4: what is the worst case scenario? Always ask yourself this. You can do this in any context, doesn't necessarily have to be about going to the gym, but if you take a step back in most situations and ask yourself what is the worst case scenario, quite often the answers are actually as bad as you think. For example, in this context, worst case scenario, if someone made a comment or said something, you have to ask yourself these questions. Is this someone that I actually value the constructive criticism from? Is it someone I know or even care about? Is it someone I'm going to ever see again? If it's not someone that you hold the opinion of in high esteem, someone's opinion that you don't value, someone that's never going to come into contact with you again, it's not friend, family member, or a support network, or someone that you trust the opinion of that's actually trying to give you constructive criticism. If it's just someone hating for no reason, then you're not going to ever see them again. You've got to take a step back and think, why do I care what this person thinks? You shouldn't care, really. So that's kind of the thought process that I would go through in most of these situations. If you're feeling a bit uncomfortable about something, this can be applied to also sort of social situations. If you're nervous about meeting new people in public, like approaching someone at a bar, or being introduced to a big group of friends of friends or something, some people that you don't know. Now, always ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is you have a conversation with these people, you're polite, and the person that you're talking to is not really interested or engaging with you. Then you never have to see that person again, do you? So the worst case scenario is you never see these people again, and the best case scenario is you may have new friends, or someone to date, etc. So this logic can be applied to a number of social situations, not just in a gym environment, and generally social anxiety in all sorts of social situations. Take a step back, get some perspective, ask yourself worst case scenario. Quite often it's not that bad. Point number 5 is going to be mindfulness meditation. So meditation is a great way to try and stay in the present, and it will give you more focus in your thoughts. It will take you away from worrying about the future and things that are outside of control, so the future that you can't control, and the past as well. It will bring you back to the present and should help you focus on just the immediate task at hand, breaking down your day into smaller chunks. When you go into the gym, when you're exercising, when you're eating, when you're doing your work, etc. That way you can just focus on one thing at one time. And mindfulness can also be a good way of using the apps, potentially Calm or Headspace, things like that, to make a journal of your thoughts as well. So you can track your mood in these apps, which will really help as well. Which then may lead you to identify what the root causes of the problem is. For example, if your mood on Monday is good and then Tuesday's bad, you can identify and write down the reasons why you feel like that mood's changed. So I found that quite a useful way of identifying root causes to problems. So definitely give meditation a go. You only need to do like 10 minutes a day. Use a mood tracker or something like that, and then you can try and identify what's causing you the anxiety or the stress, and then address that head on. Last point number 6 is, if all of these steps aren't really helping and you've basically taken a number of self-help options, you're doing all you can to manage your stress, your sleep's on point, you are looking at mindfulness. If the social anxiety is causing you issues such that it isn't really impacting your day-to-day, your relationships, with family members, friends, loved ones, and it is impacting your work, things like that, then I really do think it's worth getting help. I'll put some links in the description for some articles and information relating to social anxiety. And if you do reach out and get professional help, quite often they'll recommend cognitive behaviour therapy, CBT, and that is known to be quite useful in rewiring your thought patterns and finding the root causes to problems and then changing your channel of thought. So if you have been trying to figure it out yourself for quite a long time, then maybe reach out to a professional and consider doing that. That's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it and you took something from it, and I hope that it does help you alleviate some of the problems that you're having with social anxiety. I've just realised that I've said the word alleviate about 5 times in this video, so I need to get my thesaurus out and improve my vocabulary. However, I really hope you've found the video useful and you took something from it. Please like the video, subscribe for more content, leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later, bye.